One night she walked in while I was sitting in the only chair we had. Iron Man's coming to Wisconsin next year, she said. I want to race. First one. Gotta train harder than ever. I'll be ready, she said. I just stared. She already trained like a machine. I couldn't see why she'd wreck our lives over a damn race. Sure, I worked hard too, just not crazy like her. I didn't love it. Training for Iron Man would mean double the hours. But I said yeah. Figured, fine, let her chase it. That's when everything started to slide. Training costs shot up, bills stacked higher. 4 months in, she dropped it on me. I need a coach, she said. There's a guy at the gym. Did Iron Man? He'll train me, she said. Of course he wasn't free. He was stupid expensive. First thing he did, talked her into quitting her job. Didn't even ask me. Just came home one night and said she quit. Our money tanked hard. She already had a damn good bike. But her coach? Not good enough, he said. So we bought another, then another just for races, then a backup bike too. 4 bikes total. Cost more than my damn truck. Time was ticking, and I figured it was time to meet this Jason Hendricks guy. I knew his name. Hell, I was the one writing his checks every week. I found them at the gym. He was standing over her while she lifted way too close, hands all over her. She smiled up at him like I wasn't even real. I watched for a minute, just stewing. Then they moved to another thing, some rope pull machine. She stood back to the wall, grabbed the ropes. He stood real close, almost breathing on her. She pulled the ropes twice before I couldn't take it anymore and walked over. Laura was up against the wall, hands on the ropes, Hendricks right up in her space. I watched a second, long enough, then stormed over. She tugged the rope again, like nothing was wrong. I stopped a foot away. What the hell is this? I barked, loud, sharp. Both of them flinched. She turned, face fake shocked. Jacob, what are you doing here? She stammered. I tilted my head, smirking cold. Figured it's about time I meet the a-hole feeling up my wife. Hendricks threw out a hand for a shake. I didn't even look at it. You got some balls, man, I said, stepping closer. Putting your hands all over a married woman. It's part of her training, he said, puffing his chest like some gym bro. I chuckled, dark and mean. Training her melons, huh? That's what it takes, Hendricks shot back, smug as hell. I let the silence stretch, letting him hang there. Not anymore, you're done. Get the F away from her. Laura, get your crap, we're leaving. I spun on my heel and walked off. Jacob, get back here, she shrieked, voice cracking, didn't even slow down, drove straight home, sat in the dark, waiting. Door flew open like a bomb went off. You crazy son of a witch, she screamed, stomping in. You can't fire him. You're out of your mind. I leaned back in the chair, calm as ice. Oh, but I can. And I did. The freak show's over. You don't get it, she barked, fists clenched. He's the best. I need him. I barked a short laugh. Yeah, you need him all right. All over you. Jesus, Laura. You look like you were going to screw him right there in the gym. She flushed, furious. You're disgusting. How dare you even say that? I stood up slow, towering over her. I saw it. You smiled at him like he was your goddamn prom date. You loved every second of it. She jabbed a finger in my chest. You don't trust me. That's your problem. No, my problem is watching my wife pant over some meathead like a goddamn groupie, I snapped. And you know what? I'm not footing the bill for you to play with your little boy toys. You want him? Pay him your damn self. Your tuition, too. I'm done. She crossed her arms, chin up like some queen. I'll get a job. He stays. I laughed, sharp and mean. You really think you're going to win this? She smirked. I already have. I stepped in close, nose to nose. How important is he to you? I growled. She didn't blink. More than you right now. I froze for half a second, then smiled. Good to know. She stared, breathing hard. And me? I asked, real soft now, venom dripping. Am I just the dumbass who pays your bills while you get your kicks with gym boys? You're my husband, she hissed. But you don't own me. I shook my head, laughing low. No, Laura, I don't own you. But I sure as hell ain't gonna bankroll you while you treat me like a damn clown. She glared daggers. I want to win Wisconsin. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, huh? I repeated, voice dropping cold. She sneered. That's right. I stared her down for a long, ugly minute. Then I leaned close, whispering, Hope it's worth it, babe. 'Cause after this Iron Man bullshit's over, you're gonna be crossing that finish line all alone. She stared at me for a second, then scoffed, uncrossed her arms like she was about to say something. But she didn't. She just turned her back on me and walked upstairs like I wasn't even there. That was all the answer I needed. I sat there, blinking like a dumbass for a minute. Then it hit me. She was gone already, maybe not in body, but in the way that mattered. Fine. I went to the computer, logged into our accounts, and started locking down. Heard enough horror stories to know how it goes if you don't move first. She wasn't getting a freaking penny of mine to hand over to that prick Hendricks. If she wanted to pay him to screw her over, she could do it with her money, unmarried. We had that old fifth-wheel camper still parked out back. Used to be our thing. Weekend getaways, mountain trails, her biking like a maniac while I grilled burgers and drank beer. Funny how fast all that crap turns to dust. I went upstairs. She was in the bathroom, door closed, running water loud. I caught a bit of her voice through the door. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I didn't need to hear the rest. Grabbed my clothes, stuffed them into a duffel, 3 trips to the camper, 2 if I packed smart. By the second trip, I heard the bath water running. Good. She'd be in there for an hour. Easy. She always liked soaking after training days. Funny word for what she was doing now. I grabbed the computer, personal papers, a few books, crashed in the camper overnight, parked behind the office. Next morning, I let my boss know. Asked me what my plan was. Taking it one step at a time, I said, which meant no plan at all. That evening, I swung by the house. Laura was there, sitting at the kitchen table, eating coleslaw like nothing was broken. I ignored her, went straight to the office room, started grabbing more of my crap. She followed me in, hovering. Where'd you go last night? She asked, trying for casual, but her voice was tight. Factory, I said, not even looking up. What'd you do, invite Hendricks over to check out your pecs? Her eyes narrowed. That's not funny. No, I snorted. Neither's watching your wife get felt up at the gym. That's not what happened, she snapped. I threw a folder into the box a little too hard. Sure looked like it to me. She folded her arms again, that same smug, cold stance. What are you doing? What's it look like? I said, packing another book. Leaving. Her face tightened. Why? I straightened up and stared her down. 'Cause you made it real freaking clear last night who matters more. I told you, she said, voice dripping fake patience. I need him to train for Wisconsin. I laughed, short and bitter. So, no other coach in the whole goddamn world could do it? We work well together, she said, chin lifted, mouth tight. Yeah, I bet. I've seen just how well you work. Jesus, Jacob, he doesn't fondle me. I shook my head, slow, disgusted. You didn't exactly push him away, did you? Silence. You and me, I said, voice low. We used to be a team. She shifted, uncomfortable. We still can be, she said quickly. Just trust me, give me a chance. I leaned against the door frame, arms crossed. You gonna ditch Hendricks? She looked right at me and shook her head. No? I stood there for a beat. Then I picked up the box and headed for the door. She trailed after me. When you coming back? She said, real quiet. I stopped, turned. Up to you, I said, voice flat. Tell me he's gone, I stay. Tell me he's staying, and you lose me, for good. No hesitation. He stays, she said, cold as ice. I stared at her like I'd never seen her before. Maybe I hadn't. Took 3 trips to load the last of my stuff. She stood there the whole time, arms crossed, dead silent, just watching. 3rd trip, she finally spoke. Where you gonna go? I slammed the tailgate closed. Don't know. Don't care. When you coming back? I climbed up into the truck, door creaking open. We already been through that, I said. I'm not coming back. Jacob, she shouted after me. You can't blow up our marriage over a damn coach, I laughed, bitter. And you can't blow up a husband over a sweaty A trainer. I slammed the door shut so hard the windows shook. I took half our money and maxed out the cards. Your phone should be dead by now. I checked my watch. About 30 minutes ago. Bills are due next week. So's the renter's insurance. Your car's covered for 4 more months. I'd get a job fast if I were you, or you're screwed. I threw the last load in my truck and headed for the garage. Her bike and spare sat there, packed up in cases that cost almost as much as the damn bikes. I grabbed them one by one and straight up tossed them into the truck. She saw me and came running. What the hell are you doing? Can't you just pick them up? She yelled. Like hell I can. I paid for them, I said. I jumped in the truck and drove off. She didn't even care I was leaving and just freaked about the bikes. Next morning was her gym day. I swung by to check, looked through the window. There she was, sitting on the bench press with Hendricks. She was crying and he was holding her hands. Couldn't tell if she was crying because we were done or because I took her bikes. Next day, I took off work and found a spot to park my fifth-wheeler. Paid a month up front, got hooked up to power and water. Day after that, I sat down with my folks, told them everything. "You okay?" Mom asked. "Oh, need money?" Dad asked. "Yeah and no," I said. We hadn't said a damn word to each other in 2 weeks. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I didn't bother. Couple minutes later, voicemail. It was her. Said she wanted to talk. I stared at the screen a second, then called her back. Might as well get it over with. She picked up quick. "What now?" she said like I was the problem. I stayed cool. "You still training with Hendricks?" Pause. "Yeah, I need him." I let the silence drag out just to make her sweat. Then said real flat, "All right, then we're going to divorce court." She gasped, all fake hurt. "You can't be serious." I smirked even though she couldn't see it. "Dead serious." She got quiet, real quick. I didn't stop. "You screwed him yet?" I asked, voice cold as ice. Her voice cracked. "How can you even say that to me?" I snorted. "Real easy. I seen the way you drool all over him. Next step's pretty obvious, so I'll ask again. You screw him yet?" Dead silence. Then a click. She hung up. I stared at the phone, shook my head once, tossed it onto the seat. Which couldn't even deny it. Next day, my boss said there was a job at a plant in Leadville, Colorado if I wanted it. I said yes. Left the next day. Was gone for about 2 months. Fall had already hit Colorado, winter coming fast. A tiny fifth-wheel trailer wasn't where anyone with a brain would want to spend the cold, so I rented a small apartment, bought cheap used furniture. After living tight for so long, the space felt crazy big. By Thanksgiving, my folks wanted me home. I went. Back to eating normal, too. No more quinoa, kale, or tofu. Not bad food, just not my thing. Holiday with the family was good. No one missed Laura. Day after Thanksgiving, I was ready to roll back to Leadville. Had lunch with Mom and Dad, then stopped for gas. While filling up, I ran into an old buddy. We started talking. He said he'd seen Laura hanging with some big guy. There was a diner by the station, so we grabbed coffee. Over sips, he told me it was Hendricks. They'd been seen at the mall, holding hands, kissing out on the street. Like they didn't even care. My buddy's name was Zeke, short for Ezekiel. We were talking when his phone rang. It was his brother, Emmanuel. They chatted about hunting plans till Em had to work. I said I had to go, but Zeke waved me to hang on. Zeke said, "You seen Laura Wagner lately?" A pause. "Yeah, Jake's wife," he said. Another pause. "You're getting on my nerves, man," Zeke snapped. Pause again. "All right, thanks. I'm with Jake now. Might swing by." He hung up. "What's that about?" I asked. "Man," Zeke said, "you ain't gonna believe this. Laura and her boy toy checked into M's motel, been there 2 nights. He told me they weren't at the motel right now. No restaurant there, so probably out getting dinner. Probably the gym first, I thought. We headed to the motel. Him in his car, me in my truck. I parked way back in a corner. M, the owner, was cool. I knew him. "By the way," M said, grinning, "cameras are dead, even outside, no recordings." "Why the hell you work at a dump like this?" I asked. "I own it," M said. "Make more than Hampton Inn every month. Laura and her guy, Jason Hendricks, by the way, come here once a week. He's married, and she's with her parents since she lost your house. Jake, Jacob, Jason. Girl's got a type." He laughed. "Anyway, they hang out here. She jokes he's too scared to take her home. Too many nosy neighbors. He'll leave tomorrow because his wife's coming back." "Give us the key, Em," Zeke said. Em didn't blink, handed over an old-school metal key. Zeke and I went to their room. It was obvious what they'd been doing. "All right, Jake," Zeke said. "I'll grab pics outside. You take inside." "You sure Em won't get in trouble?" I asked. "Man, Em owns this place. He knows way too much dirt." "Nobody's calling cops here," Zeke said. "Mind your business. I'll mind mine." Their room was upstairs, facing some construction. Tiny balcony. I made sure the balcony door was unlocked, then went back down and grabbed a ladder from Em's shed. Found one that reached the 2nd floor easy. Set it up. Then waited. 30 minutes later, Zeke called. "They're back." It was dark by then. I watched the lights pop on, climbed the stairs, careful. They didn't even shut the curtains. I stood on the stairs, snapping pictures. Them stripping out of their gym clothes, not a care in the world. If they glanced at the balcony, I ducked. Laura would never skip a shower. Sure enough, straight to the bathroom. Left the door open, too. I went to work. Had 2 overnight bags, stuffed every damn piece of their clothes inside. Shirts, pants, bras, underwear, all of it. Grabbed anything on the rack by the door. Tossed everything over the balcony, even the towels, the bath mat, whatever I could reach. I crawled halfway into the bathroom too, grabbed anything in there, heard them talking in the shower, but couldn't make out words, carried all their stuff down to my truck. The people in the room under theirs saw me. I made a heart with my hands, pointed upstairs, then acted like I was throwing away a key. They got it. Probably cheaters too. No way they'd say a word. Met Zeke and Em at the front desk, dumped the bedding there. They cracked up laughing. Em had already printed out the pics Zeke snapped. He started on mine. But the phone rang. Em picked up. Front desk, he said. Pause. Really? Pause. Yeah. Stairs are still there, he said. Pause. Stay put. I'll send you towels. Can't help with the rest. You want cops? No? All right, just towels. Pause. Hope you enjoyed your stay. He hung up, grinning. We all burst out laughing. Staying put. Funniest crap I heard all year, I said. Still laughing, I asked Em, hey, can I bring him the towels? That sent us into another round of laughs. If that's what you want, Em said. He ducked out for a minute, came back carrying a stack of crap. I grabbed it off him without a word, marched upstairs. Door was half open. I banged it once with my foot. Room service, I barked. Hendricks' voice floated out, nervous. I'll get it. I kicked the door wider, pushed straight through, rammed into him shoulder first. Didn't even feel bad about it. Inside, there she was. Laura, half undressed, tangled in sheets, eyes wide like a damn deer. She shrieked, grabbed a blanket, scrambled to cover her A. Hendricks just stood there in his boxers, frozen, looking like a kid caught jerking off. I smiled, slow and nasty. Well, I said, loud enough to rattle the windows. Ain't this cozy? Laura's mouth opened, but no words came out. Just this stupid, shocked face, like she couldn't believe I was standing there. I looked her dead in the eye. You clearly skipped evaluating his chest, sweetheart. This clown's built like a wet noodle. Hendricks shifted, red as a tomato, but didn't say a word. Laura finally found her voice, shrill and desperate. Jacob, wait, it's not what it looks like. I laughed in her face, hard, cruel. Jesus, Laura, save it for someone dumber. She clutched the blanket tighter, voice breaking. We were just talking. I cut her off, stepping closer. You were talking? That why you're sitting there damn near bum naked? Or was that part of his training plan too? Hendricks tried to mumble something. I turned on him fast. Shut the F up. You don't even exist right now. He backed off like a scared little witch. I stared back at Laura, dead cold. Here's the deal, I said, voice like gravel. I'm staying in town just long enough to file papers. After that, you can ride this clown straight to Wisconsin or straight to hell. I don't give a damn anymore. She lunged forward a little, dragging the blanket like a damn fool. Jacob, please, don't do this. It was a mistake. Just listen. I shook my head slow, smiling even wider. You made your choice. Now live with it. I turned, grabbed the door handle. She screamed after me, desperate now. Jacob, you're throwing everything away. I looked over my shoulder once. Nah, sweetheart. You did that the second you dropped your underwear for your freaking coach. Then I walked out. She'd been trying to call me and left a bunch of messages. I had both her phone and his, so she had to use the motel phone. Her whole thing was, you dumped me. I need him for help. First to learn, now for emotional support, she said. After I left, I stayed in town a bit to start divorce papers. Took me 2 days to go through all the clothes I grabbed from their room. I found Hendricks' wallet, keys, phone, and a bunch of junk. Also found a little black notebook full of names, addresses, numbers. Laura was rated a 6 out of 10. Em told me later that a guy showed up a few hours after I left, Em said. Probably brought them clothes. When they checked out next morning, they wore loose, cheap gym gear. Guess he brought Hendricks' spare car key, too. Morning, I was heading back to Leadville. I swung by Hendricks' house. His wife was home. I gave her his clothes, his junk, and copies of the pics Zeke and I took, I said. One showed them holding hands at the motel. No photos. Didn't need them. She was real into that little black book, too. At the last second, I tossed Laura's stuff at her. Maybe call her. See if she wants her crap back, I said, laughing. Couple hours later, I was driving when my phone rang. Hey, Jacob, Laura said. I'm sorry, you broke up with me. Let's talk. Oh, and bring my bikes, okay? She said. She really missed her damn bikes. Too bad. I had already sold them in Leadville. Screw you, I said. and hung up. Later, my boss, who also ran the plant, threw a Christmas party. Whole crew was invited. I volunteered to bartend. The party was at his house, bar set up nicer than most bars in town. Around 8, place was buzzing. I was heading to the bathroom when someone dropped a plate of food at the bar. "You need to eat," she said. She'd swung by a few times already that night. We chatted while I ate. "Thanks," I said. She pulled up a stool next to me. Most people were scattered around. By the fire, dancing, drinking, she and I were just hanging. "My name's Diana. Diana Webster," she said. "Been watching you. You don't seem to miss the party," she said. I wiped my hands, shook hers. "Jacob Wagner," I said. "Honestly, bartenders hear better stories than anyone," I said, laughing. She laughed too. "You work at the plant?" Diana asked. "Yeah," I said. "You?" "Nope," she said. "I'm an accountant. Neighbor too." "They invite me to all the parties," she said. "There a lot?" I asked. 3 or 4 a year," she said. "Some get crazy." "And this one?" I asked. "Quiet," she said. "Christmas parties are tame. 4th of July, totally wild." "I haven't worked here long, but the boss seems solid," I said. "He is?" Diana said. "Jonathan and Amber? Good people." I still had food left when someone came asking for drinks. Diana jumped behind the bar and helped. "Thanks," I said. "You know your way around a bar," I said. She laughed. "Uncorked a few bottles in my time," she said. Our hosts were Jonathan and Amber Whitmore. I liked working with Jonathan. He knew his stuff. Plant, mine, quarry, transport. Lucky for me, he took me under his wing. I became his assistant. After I finished eating, another guy stepped in behind the bar. "Take a break, dance with the lady," he said, pointing at Diana. I handed him my towel, bowed to her. She curtsied back. We both laughed and headed to the dance floor. Once we started, we stayed close, real close. Danced through 3 songs. After the third, we stopped and just looked at each other. "In full honesty, I'm married," I said. She took a small step back. "Is she here tonight?" Diana asked. "No," I said. "Long story, I can tell it fast." "Good, I'd like to hear it," Diana said. We grabbed our drinks and headed upstairs. She flopped onto the couch, patted the spot next to her. "Okay, tell me about this marriage," Diana said. I told Diana the whole story. When I got to the part about stealing their clothes, she nearly fell off the couch laughing, she said. When she finally caught her breath, she asked, "So when's the divorce?" "I filed right after Thanksgiving. It'll take a few months," I said, and took a sip of my drink. "What's your story?" I asked. "Same as yours," Diana said. "Except my husband didn't need a coach. He already knew how to cheat. Practiced plenty at the local bars with the waitresses," she said. "Small town. Someone snitched. That was over a year ago." "How's divorce life treating you?" I asked. "Still new," she said. "Only been divorced 5 months. Problem is, guys think being divorced means I'm easy." I laughed. I had a feeling she wasn't one to mess with. We talked until Amber Whitmore called out it was time to head home, she said. I walked Diana next door. We shook hands and said goodnight. 2 days later, I went straight into my boss's office. "I need Diana's number," I said. "I can't give it without her okay," my boss said. "But I'll pass her yours." "That's fine," I said. 3 days later, she called. We talked a long time. She gave me her number too. After that, we talked all the time. Our first date was 2 days before Christmas. We had dinner, danced a little, and I drove her home. She was spending Christmas with her folks. I was spending it alone at my apartment. Around 5:30 on Christmas Eve, the doorbell rang. "Hey," Diana said, smiling. "Mind some company?" "Not at all," I said, letting her in. She carried a small basket, set it on the table, and pulled out turkey, ham, potatoes, all the Christmas food you could want. "I told my folks you were alone and starving," Diana said. "Mom packed all this for you." "Tell her thanks. This looks awesome," I said. She made plates for both of us, and we ate, talking the whole time. After dinner, we cleaned up together. Then we sat on the couch with eggnog and kept talking. I learned her ex worked at the best hardware store in town. "What's his name?" I asked. When she told me, I smiled. I knew the guy, dealt with him plenty, always liked him. "We were married 3 years," Diana said. "He's a nice guy. We're still friends, but he's a cheater, and I can't stand cheaters." "I gotta ask," I said, "and tell me if it's none of my business. How does an accountant end up living next door to the Whitmores?" She chuckled. "Thanks to my grandparents," Diana said. They owned all the land around here. My house was the first one built. They used it as a model. When everything sold, they gave it to me. Nice grandparents, I said. Where they live now? Small ranch in the Texas highlands, Diana said. I just saw them today at my parents' place. It was past midnight when she decided to leave. I walked her to her car. About 4 inches of fresh snow had fallen. I looked worried. It's no big deal, Diana said, brushing off her windshield. Plows don't even bother till it's 6 inches deep. I'll be fine. She put her hand on my shoulder, pulled me in, and kissed me. Merry Christmas, Diana said. I'll call when I get home, if you want me to. I want you to, I said, and kissed her back. That was basically our second date, and our first kiss. Our third date was New Year's Eve at her parents' house. Huge party. I met her folks, her brother, her sister, and their spouses. House was packed. I grabbed a drink and socialized. Her grandparents were back in Texas, but about 50 people showed up, including my boss and his wife. Well, Jacob, Jonathan said, grinning. You must be doing something right. Not everyone gets invited here. I think so too, Mr. Whitmore, I said. It's Jonathan when we're not at the plant, he said. And Amber for me, his wife added with a smile. The party flew by. Diana was busy helping out her parents. Every time I tried to help, they pushed me back toward the crowd, telling me to enjoy myself. I did, thanks to the Whitmores. They introduced me to half the town's big shots. One girl, though, Rosita Cameron, latched onto me like glue, made sure I always had a drink or plate of food. I'm Rosie, she said, flashing a smile. After an hour, I was desperate to get away. I tried mingling, but Rosie stuck like Velcro, managed to slip away by pretending I needed the bathroom. But sure enough, when I came out, she was waiting and grabbed my hand tight. I finally had enough. I gotta go, I told Rosie, and pulled away. I looked for Diana, but couldn't find her, so I went to her mom instead. Thanks for everything. Good night, I said. I grabbed my coat and left. Next morning, I was frying sausages, drinking my second coffee when the phone rang. I checked the screen and picked up. Happy New Year? How was the party? Diana asked. It was fine till your mom said you left. After that, it sucked. Why'd you leave? Why didn't you tell me? I asked. The main reason? A girl named Rosita, Diana said. She wouldn't let go of me. And every time I saw you, you were busy serving drinks, playing host. I tried to find you, but Rosie had a death grip on my arm, so I bailed. I could hear her softening a little. Rosie's a good friend, Diana said. I told her to keep other women off you. Yeah, well, mission accomplished, I said. Nobody could get near me, but I didn't want her chasing you off. Anyway, Happy New Year, I said. Happy New Year to you too, Diana said. Would be better if you were here. I'm making breakfast if you want to swing by, I said. I wish I could, Diana said, but I promised I'd watch the Rose Parade with my folks. We talked a bit longer and made plans for dinner 3 days later. Day before the date, I called her up to check. Sorry, Jacob, something came up, Diana said. She didn't offer another time. That night, heading home, I remembered I needed epoxy for a busted lamp, swung by the hardware store. Inside, I spotted David Webster, Diana's ex, chatting with another guy. Yeah, she's warming up, David said. Couple more dates, we'll be back together. I screwed up bad before, she didn't deserve it, but I've learned. After dinner tomorrow, I'll feel better. We'll see. Good luck, man, the other guy said. Tell me how it goes. Yeah, for sure, David said. He spotted me. Hey, Jacob, what's up? David said. Need some epoxy, just a small one. I don't need a gallon, I said. He laughed. Man, we never sell those big ones anyway, David said. We headed to the register. He counted the cash while I handed him a 20. I couldn't help myself. Heard you talking about dinner, I said, trying to patch things up. Hell no, David said, trying to get my ex-wife back. I screwed up, now I'm fixing it. Tomorrow's my birthday. Talked her into having dinner. She always gave me a special birthday gift, if you know what I mean, he said, laughing. I didn't laugh. How's she feel about you two getting back together? I asked. Not sure, David said. We're friendly. We go out sometimes. Have nice nights, if you know what I mean. Second time he said that. The meaning was loud and clear. Yeah, I said. I think I know. I grabbed my change, my epoxy, and left. 2 nights later, after dinner with her ex-husband's birthday boy, she called me. Hey, she said, how you doing? Better than you probably think, I said. You? Good. Real good, actually, she replied. Let me guess, I said. Dinner with your boy David went smooth, huh? Yeah, she said after a second. I laughed low. Yeah, thought so. Wait, she said, how the hell do you know about that? Who told you it was with him? Don't matter, I said. Point is, you're back to screwing around with your ex, and the man's feeling lucky. Told a buddy he just needs a couple more nice nights with you and you'll be all his again. You're twisting crap, Jacob, she snapped. It's not like that. Yeah, I said. Then tell me, babe, what's a nice night mean to you? Dinner? Drinks? Little dance? Or you just skipping straight to the birthday special? I paused. Word is you always knew how to wrap up a birthday real nice. Bet he missed that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, she said. No? I said. Just talking, huh? Pillow talk's always sweet when your legs are wide open. There was a long silence. Goodbye, Jacob, she said finally. I stared at the dead phone in my hand and said quietly, to no one, Goodbye, Diane. Next 2 weeks at work were crazy. Machines were breaking, we were short on workers, and way behind, I was busier than a cat burying crap. Time flew by. Last day of the month, Jonathan and I grabbed lunch. We sat down, ordered, sipping coffee. So, Jonathan said, what's up with you and Diana? She talks to Amber a lot. We thought things were good. Then Amber said you accused Diana of sleeping with David. He paused. You don't gotta tell me your business, he added. I took a sip. Well, I said, thing is, and brought him up to speed. So, you didn't flat out accuse her, Jonathan said. You just hinted? Yeah, I said. Just like Webster hinted to me. Problem is, she didn't deny it. That sucks, Jonathan said. He broke her once. He'll do it again. She's a big girl, though. She'll get over it. I hope so, I said. We talked business after that. He wanted me to go to Atlanta to try to snag 2 more trucks for the quarry. My first trip to HQ, I was hyped. Denver's the mile-high city, but Leadville's damn near 2 miles up. I was glad to ditch that freezing hole for a few days. Headed for Denver Airport, flying to Atlanta. Hadn't talked to Diana for a month. Even switched hardware stores. I hated flying. This would be flight number 4 for me. Heard afternoons out of Denver were rough. No lie. 10 minutes of pure hell after takeoff. Then it smoothed out and we cruised into Atlanta. We got 2 more trucks, not because they liked me. The numbers spoke for themselves. Probably just wanted to watch me squirm. Jonathan told me to swing by my folks' place on the way home, so I did. Man, it was good to feel some real heat again. 68 and sunny. In Leadville, it was still damn near frozen. My parents hugged me tight when I landed, took me home. We gossiped all night. Left Laura out of it, like always. Only call I got about the divorce was from my lawyer. Laura still whining about her 2 bikes, the ones I'd already sold. I told myself I'd call the lawyer tomorrow. After dinner, I called Zeke. We met at our old bar and grabbed drinks. Turned out Laura and Hendrix were shacked up in a beat-up trailer. No money but what Hendrix made training people. She wasn't working, unless you call begging for sponsors work. They even hit local TV, asking for cash so she could race Ironman in April. But Zeke, M, and a few other folks made damn sure everyone knew the real story. That Laura was still married, living with her trainer, and had cheated. Hendrix's wife even went on TV herself telling her side. Never dropped names, but everyone knew. Funny thing, all that drama helped M's Motel get more customers. As for Laura, she landed one sponsor. The gym she trained at. Donations were pitiful. Rumors even floated around that she got knocked up and had in termination so it wouldn't mess up her training. But no one knew for sure. Next day, I called my lawyer. Looks like your hearing's in April, he said. You gonna come? Probably not, I said. That's fine, he said. I got it. Next morning, I flew back to Denver. Morning flights are way better, and it was smooth as glass this time. Picked up my truck and headed home. Clear sky. Cold as hell. Stopped by the best restaurant in town, planning to grab dinner. Walked in, looked for a seat, and there was Diana. Sitting with some guy. His back was to me, but I didn't need a guess. I figured it was David. Diana looked up, caught my eye. I turned and walked right out. Back at my place, I cooked meatloaf, cracked a beer. Wind was howling like crazy outside. Mountain winds ripping through at 70 miles per hour easy. I crawled into bed thinking how damn nice it would be to have someone to hold. Next morning, apartment was warm, windows iced over. No way I wanted to go out to the quarry today. Later that afternoon in Jonathan's office, I told him about the trip. Congrats on the trucks, he said. Honestly, didn't think we'd get them. You must have impressed someone. Thanks, I said. Back at my desk, I started digging through the pile of work waiting for me. That night, same damn day, I went back to the diner. Diana or no Diana, I needed real food. And their coffee, best thing in town, hands down. I ordered my dinner, wrapped my hands around the coffee mug, feeling the warmth. Mine somewhere else. Mind if I sit? She said. I didn't even look up. Ain't there 100 other empty booths? None, she said, real smug. Good, I said, still not looking at her. If this one's so damn special, knock yourself out. While she took off her coat, I grabbed my coffee and jacket and moved to the far side of the diner, sat down, looked up. She was already heading out. Guess that booth wasn't so special after all. After that, food and coffee tasted like cardboard. Sit down, Jacob, Jonathan said. I sat. I'm stuck, Jonathan said. Got the president, 2 VPs, and their wives coming next week. They want to swing by before heading to Vail for skiing. I'm throwing a party. As my assistant, you gotta be there. As Amber's friend, Diana's gotta be invited too, he said, pausing. He gave me a look. Would be best if you brought a date. Diana too, Jonathan said. Another pause. See where I'm going with this? He asked. Yeah, I said. How about this? Invite Diana and her ex. They're getting close again, right? I'll be busy fixing a broken cat 789 at the quarry. Problem solved. Jonathan just shook his head, smiling. You usually catch on fast, he said, but this time you're dumber than a truckload of rocks. Party's at my house. Next Friday. Suit and tie. Bring a date. Now get back to work. Suit and tie? No problem. Finding a date? Big problem. 10 days wasn't much time. I barely knew anyone here, and even if I didn't know who was single. Jonathan wasn't the only one stuck. Days flew by. Still no date. Saturday afternoon, I was in my place. Pulled chili out of the fridge. Needed to heat it up. Chili's my thing. Love making it, trying new recipes. Last batch was top-notch. Grabbed the beer bag, but the fridge was dead. Light off. Motor. Silent. Opened and shut the door a few times. Nothing. Checked the panel. Fridge breaker was tripped. Reset it. Tripped again. Beer and chili went back inside. Sighed, threw on a coat, and headed to the hardware store. The good one was closed. Weird for a Saturday. That meant I had to face the one where David Webster worked. Took a deep breath and walked in. Knew what I needed. Grabbed it fast. Headed for the register. And, of course, there was Webster yapping with someone. Looked closer. It was Diana's dad. Recognized him by that thick mustache. He sang in some barbershop group. All 4 had the same stash. I stood there, listening. Good for you, Webster said. You don't deserve a second shot, Diana's dad said. You screwed up once. We all think you'd do it again, especially Diana. But who's this guy she's seeing? No one knows him, Webster said. None of your business, Diana's dad said. Leave her alone. They finished the sale. Diana's dad grabbed his stuff and left without looking back. Webster turned, spotted me, smiled. Been a while. How's life? Webster asked. Not bad, I said. Seems like every time I come here, you're talking about your love life. You ever talk about anything else? I asked. He laughed. Small town, Webster said. Not much else to talk about. So, how's it going? I asked. Still chasing your ex? Not great, Webster said. Seems like she's seeing someone new. No one knows who he is. I remembered that night at the diner. Diana with some guy. Maybe he's not from around here, I said. Must be, Webster said. I finished up, headed home, fixed the fridge switch. Sweet sound hearing it hum again. Heated my chili, cracked 2 beers, and stared out the window at the falling snow. Wondered who Diana's new man was. Not that we had anything serious, just a few dates. But still, I liked her. Sunday rolled around, and like always, I was doing laundry. My building only had 4 apartments and 0 washers, so every week I lugged my clothes over to the laundromat on Main. I'd sit there, watch them spin, fold everything up, and head home. Place was usually a ghost town when I got there. No clue how they even stayed in business. Only good thing about Sundays? Parking was a dream. Streets stayed dead quiet till noon, when the church crowd poured out and hit the fancy restaurant next door to the laundromat. It wasn't noon yet, so my beat-up truck was the only ugly thing sticking out on the block like a sore thumb. I was scrolling through the news on my phone when the door creaked open. I glanced up. It was her. I dropped my eyes back down, pretending to read. Heard her steps getting closer. Next thing, she flopped into the cracked plastic chair right next to me. We locked eyes for a few seconds. I wanted to bounce, honestly, but leaving my laundry wasn't an option. Or at least that's the lie I told myself. She broke the silence first. "I think we can help each other out," she said. I raised an eyebrow. "Help with what?" "Jonathan and Amber are throwing a party Friday night. We're both invited, and they kind of want everybody to bring dates. How about we call a truce for a few days and just go together?" I stared at her, thinking it over. "What about David?" I asked. She shrugged. "What about him?" "I thought you two were working things out. Won't he lose his mind seeing you with me?" She rolled her eyes. "Look, David's not exactly the kind of guy you bring to something like this, if you catch my drift." Something about the way she said it made me feel bad for the guy. "Wait, hold up. Wasn't he your husband for, 3 years? You dragged him to all these big deal parties before. Now suddenly he's not good enough?" "That's cold, Diana. Real cold. I get that he messed up, but maybe this party's his shot to prove he's changed." "So what? You think I should go with David?" she snapped. I shrugged. "I don't know. I just know that ain't gonna be with me." She shot me a hard look, got up, and started for the door. I sat there stewing, feeling like a straight-up idiot. She tried to extend an olive branch, and I basically smacked it away. I jumped up. "Diana, wait!" She had her hand on the doorknob, but froze, turned halfway toward me. "Well, spit it out, Jacob, and it better be good." I walked up to her, heart hammering. "All right, look, I don't know the full story with you and David. If I'm out of line, just tell me to shut the hell up. But here's the thing." I took a second to breathe. "My ex, Laura, cheated on me." "David cheated on you." I'm never getting back with Laura. She's probably living happily ever after with her yoga instructor by now. "But David, he's still fighting for you." I kind of get why. Because after a few dates with you, I started falling for you, too. Then we had that date lined up and you bailed. I took it like a champ. Then I find out you've been cozying up to David again. I paused, feeling heat creep up my neck. I talked to him. He said he was trying to win you back. Mentioned you two had some memorable nights together, especially his birthday. Then yesterday I heard him and your dad arguing about some new guy you're supposedly seeing. Your dad told him to back off, but David's still sniffing around. I shook my head. So now here I am, standing between your ex, some mystery guy, and another dude I saw you with at the restaurant. And you want to team up for a party? I was hoping we could be something real, Diana. But I don't do messy love triangles. I don't play games where nobody even knows the damn rules. By now we had wandered back over and sat down again. She reached out and grabbed my hands. "You really meant it? About liking me more and more?" she asked, soft. "Yeah," I said, not even hesitating. "And if there was no ex, no drama, you'd come to the party with me?" "Yeah, in a heartbeat." She smiled for the first time that day. "So, you picking me up, or should I meet you there?" I blinked. "Huh?" "I'm not going back to David, not now, not ever. Those 3 nights after our divorce, they weren't about romance. They were about arguing over alimony. He tried everything to weasel out of it. And yeah, I want him to pay, even if I never touch a dime. It's the principle." I let that sink in. "And the date you canceled with me?" She laughed dryly. "I canceled it to make it crystal clear to David we were over, completely. I wasn't sleeping with him then, and I'm definitely not now. Whatever he's implying, it's BS. And the guy at the restaurant? My dad. We have dinner once a month, like clockwork." I felt a little lighter. Then she dropped the hammer. "And that new boyfriend from out of town?" she said, smirking. "That's you, genius." I blinked again. "Any more dumbass questions?" she teased. "Probably like 30, I muttered. "You can start firing him at dinner tonight," she said, squeezing my hand. "Now go fold your damn laundry and be at my place around 6:30. Cool?" "Cool," I said, grinning like a fool. She kissed me once, took a couple steps like she was leaving, then spun around and kissed me again, longer this time. "I really, really like kissing you," she said with a grin before heading out the door. I just stood there, watching her go, thinking 2 things. 1, damn, life can turn on a dime. 2, why the hell hadn't I just talked to her a month ago? Man, we really are idiots sometimes. That night, dinner was one for the books. Food was insane, like Michelin star good. And the night overall, damn near perfect. Would have been truly perfect if it ended with us tangled up in bed, but yeah, that didn't happen. Thursday, Jonathan pulled me aside at work. "You got a date for the party yet?" he asked. I grinned. "Yeah, I'm all set." He nodded. "Good, 'cause rumor has it Diana's bringing someone too. Just, you two behave, all right?" "We'll be fine," I said, still smiling. Fast forward to Friday night. I parked in her driveway. Street was packed. 2 limos in front of Jonathan and Amber's place. A bunch of other cars lining the curb. Big night. I rang Diana's doorbell. When she opened up, she was straight up stunning. Little black dress. You know, the one every woman somehow owns and somehow looks drop dead in? Yeah, that one. "Wow," was all I could choke out. She laughed softly and grabbed her shawl. We headed next door. Jonathan opened the door, and the second he saw us, his eyes bugged out. "You two add together?" Right then, Diana leaned in and kissed me. Slow, sure, like she meant it. Jonathan just chuckled. "I'll take that as a yes." Inside, the place was buzzing. Jonathan introduced me around as his assistant to a few heavy hitters and their wives. One of the big bosses even joked about me managing to snag 2 new trucks out of them. "Yeah, sir," I said. "But hey, did you check the numbers since?" He laughed and said he had. It was a smooth night, good vibes all around. Midnight rolled around. The fancy guests piled into their limos and peeled off. Only the 4 of us were left. Me, Diana, Jonathan, and Amber. Around 2 in the morning, Amber finally confessed to Jonathan she knew about me and Diana the whole time. She just wanted to see him sweat. We cracked up over it, no hard feelings. I walked Diana home after that. We kissed on her porch, sweet, slow, but she didn't ask me in. Didn't really expect her to. Couple days later, my lawyer called. "Your divorce hearing's set for April 7th, he said. "You gonna show up this time?" Last time, I had been wishy-washy. This time, yeah, I told him. I'll be there. Things with Diana were getting better and better, but we still hadn't crossed that line, if you know what I mean. I wasn't pushing and she wasn't rushing either. Come the day of the hearing, I sat with my lawyer in the courthouse. Laura didn't even bother to show up. Only her lawyer was there. The judge looked pissed. "Where is she?" "In Wisconsin, Your Honor," her lawyer said. "And why isn't she here?" "She's competing in an Ironman event," the guy said, clearing his throat. "Ironman?" the judge said, eyebrows up. The lawyer mumbled some half-assed explanation about it. "So she decided a triathlon was more important than her divorce?" I can't really answer that, Your Honor." The judge just shook his head. "Well, I can." And just like that, boom, I was divorced. Laura walked away with exactly what I left her. Nothing more. My lawyer shook my hand. "Congratulations. You'll officially be a free man in a few weeks." I spent a few days back home with family. While I was there, news broke. Local woman Laura Wagner disqualified at the Wisconsin Ironman right after the swim. She dropped her towel in the transition zone. Her coach, Jason Hendricks, picked it up and handed it back. Big no-no. Immediate disqualification for outside assistance. Laura? She lost her mind. Screamed at Hendricks, swung at him. Cops had to cuff her right there. Turns out her bike was all screwed up too. Faulty gears. She blamed Hendricks for that mess too. Guy got banned for life from coaching or competing in any Ironman-sanctioned events. When I heard all this, I laughed my A off. After 2 years of brutal training, a busted marriage, a messy affair, and God knows what else, she finished 1,297th out of 1,300 and still managed to get herself arrested. She didn't need a better bike. She needed a better life plan. A couple days later, I flew back to Denver. Driving home through a nasty blizzard in Leadville, I stayed in touch with Diana, keeping her in the loop about everything. Laura, the divorce, the chaos. I finally pulled up in front of my house, grabbed my bag, and trudged up to the door. Right as I was fumbling for my keys, someone jumped me. It was Diana, full-on tackle hug. She dragged me inside, laughing like a maniac. "Hold up, woman, let me breathe," I gasped. "Nope," she said, grinning. "You're divorced now, right?" "Yeah," I said, still catching my breath. It kind of snuck up on me. Somewhere around 500 BC, a Chinese general named Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, breaking down everything about battles and strategy. After just 1 week with Diana, I felt like I needed to write my own version, The Art of Love, and dedicate every damn page to her. Because loving her and being loved back hit different. When she was near, my chest would speed up, and without even thinking about it, I'd catch myself smiling like a fool. We ended up getting married a year later. Perfect day for it. Warm, clear skies, mountains in the background. Nothing like the crazy weather we had the year before. Took a while to get used to mountain weather, but that day, flawless. My whole family made the trip. Right before the ceremony, my dad pulled me aside. "You want to hear what's been going on with Laura?" he asked. I shrugged. "Not really, but you're going to tell me anyway, huh?" He grinned. "Well, you remember what went down in Wisconsin? How she lost it on her coach?" "Yeah, I heard. She ended up doing 6 months in county jail for that little stunt. When she finally got out, she came crawling back here. And let's just say nobody rolled out the welcome mat, not even Hendrix. He's still working at that gym, but now he's just some regular trainer. No more Iron Man coach title to brag about." He laughed under his breath. "Laura ended up going back to computers. Guess that was the only thing she didn't screw up. She quit working out, though, except maybe when the 4th of July hot dog contest rolled around." Dad shook his head and leaned in. "Swear to God, son, she must have packed on 50 pounds. I chuckled. The world was spinning just fine, and I was about to marry the love of my life. Over that first year, Diana and I would spot her ex, David Webster, here and there around town. But we never talked. No need to. Almost a year into the marriage, I needed to swing by the new big box home improvement store that had run the little mom and pop shops into the ground. I needed new sanding belts. So there I was, digging through the shelves, when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around, and boom, it was David. "Hey, stranger," he said, smiling like we were old buddies. "Hey," I said back, polite but short. "How's life treating you?" "Can't complain." He was wearing a vest with the store's logo on it. "You working here now?" I asked. "Yeah," he said, almost proud. "It's the only game in town these days. Pay's not bad, and the benefits are solid." "Good for you," I said. "Well, I got what I need, so I'm going to head out." I started to leave, but he touched my arm to stop me. "Hey, real quick, I just want to say thanks," he said. "Thanks for what?" "For doing me a favor," he said, smirking a little. "I don't got to pay child support anymore." I gave a little shrug, said, "Glad I could help," and kept moving. As I walked off, I couldn't help but grin and think, "Yeah, buddy, you're off the hook for checks. But me? I get birthday presents,